Welcome back, you guys. Today I'm finally gonna film my eye routine. So this is the eyeshadow I do pretty much every single time I do my makeup. This is really simple. I'm hoping to keep it under 10 minutes. I've already done my base. If you didn't see how I do my foundation, you can look back in my old videos and that'll tell you everything you need to know and about what products I use. And then the first step I do before I do my eyes is I put concealer on my eyelids. So I just use the same concealer that I use under my eyes on top of my lids. So the one I'm using right now is the Tarte Shape Tape. That's the same one I used in the first video. You just want something kind of pale. I used to always use Soft Ochre, the MAC paint pot. I used that for a long time. I really like that as well. So I just put some concealer on my eyelids, use a damp beauty sponge, kind of blend it out with that, and then I set it with some translucent powder. Setting it is very important because if you go over with your first eyeshadow color before you set it with powder, a lot of time that color will just cling to that kind of wet area from the concealer and your eyeshadow will just look really patchy and not blended. And to me, the tip about eyeshadow is to really just blend, blend, blend. And then also, you kind of want to make sure you have some good brushes. Once I finally, and I didn't really invest, my brushes are pretty affordable and I'm going to share those with you today. But once I got decent brushes, it was a game changer. My eyeshadow looked drastically better. I felt way more confident in experimenting with other colors. So if you feel like you have all the eyeshadow, you just can't work with it that well, I would invest getting brushes and not new products. So the first brush that I will use today, and I'm not gonna edit this, y'all, so if I misspeak, I'm just gonna correct myself. So the first brush I use, and everyone needs this brush, it's the Sigma E35. It looks like this. It's just kind of like a fluffy blending brush. And I go in with kind of a warm tone. Usually my eyeshadows are warm tone. Soft, it's kind of like a orangey cream color, and it's down here. This palette I made myself, I think 3 years ago. It's a Z palette. All these eyeshadows are Makeup Geek. Again, I'll link details down below. I'm not gonna bore you with that right now. So this shade is Makeup Geek and the color is called Beaches and Cream. So I just kind of swirl my brush in that, tap the excess off, and then start in this crease doing windshield wiper motions. And I'll even kind of brush it a little bit on the side of my lid. And I'll do the other side. So just get some more product, tap it off. People have told me it's weird that I can shut one eye and look out the other, but I've always done that. I mean, how else are you gonna see what you're doing? Okay, a lot of times I will do that twice because to me this is the most important part to make sure everything blends good. Okay, so that's the first color. The next thing I do is I just kind of move one shade up. Pretty much I just pick 3 shades, a light, medium, and dark, and I layer all those in the same motion. So I obviously used to use this palette all the time. I really like it. It's very, very warm toned. So recently I got these 2, that was my light shade, a medium and dark shade in MAC, and the next medium shade is Soft Brown. This is a really popular color. If you're darker than me, I'm just really fair, you could probably start with Soft Brown. So same exact thing, same brush, tap a little bit in there, tap off the excess, same exact motion. Now, before moving to the darker shade, I just use a little flat shader brush, and this is called the E55, and it's by the brand Sigma. It looks like this. Did y'all hear my dog like howling with the sirens right now? I swear, anytime I sit down to film, something like that happens. The UPS man will come, Bruno will be outside howling. He does this every time he hears a siren. So just ignore him. We're gonna move on. So anyways, before moving to the darkest shade, I go to my highlight shade, which I like to put right on the center of my eye. My favorite color, and you can tell because it is almost gone, is this top one right here. I believe it's called Shimma Shimma, and it's by Makeup Geek as well. So this is what I normally use. I'm gonna use it today. I need to buy another one. And I just tap this right on the center. I thought about doing a Facebook Live, but I don't think I'm that prepared. Alrighty. So a lot of times what I'll use is, if I'm just trying to like pack light, I'll just use my highlighter. So the highlighter I have is Becca Opal. I'm sure a lot of people have highlighters right now because it's like the thing is to highlight. So again, it's just a shimmery color. You could use that on your lid. Use your product more than once. You don't only have to use that on your cheeks or wherever you like to use highlight. You can use it on your lid as well. So after I do that, I move to my next eye brush. And this one is the Morphe 433. This one is kind of it's a shader, but I think, what do they call it? The name's not on here. Probably like a flat shader. It's just a little bit more domed. I don't know if you can see that. And if you have smaller eyes, I would skip the E35, the big fluffy one, because it just might kind of take over your eye. You could go straight to this one and just use this one for everything. And then a lot of times what I'll do is just spot clean them in between if you feel like you're just mixing too many colors. So going to my darkest shade. It's another MAC one, and it is called Texture. It looks like, let me open it so you can actually see it. It looks like this, kind of like a burnt, I don't want to say orange, but brown color. It does have a little bit of shimmer in it. So I just tap a little bit in here, tap off the excess, and I kind of stick this mostly in the outside. And I just stay right in that crease. Alrighty, I'm gonna do the other side. And then usually at the end, after I've done all this, I need to blend a little bit more. So I go back to that original big fluffy brush, pull out that lightest color, because that's kind of the one that makes everything look blended together. This one down here. Get some more of that. And just do windshield wiper motions across everything you just did. And as far as eyeshadow goes, the last step I do is take that little shading brush, get some more of the sparkly color, and put it right on my lid. Just because I want this one to kind of pop a little bit. Okay, so you could use this formula with any colors you have. If you don't like browns and oranges and stuff like that, you can pick any color, just do a light, medium, and dark, and a shimmer or whatever you want your center shade to be, and use these steps and these brushes. It works anytime. I've done a purple or pink eye one time that I was shocked at how well I liked it. I was like, I'm gonna look like I have a black eye doing a purple eye. But it really turned out really good, and I just use this same exact formula. So anytime I wanna try anything different, that's what I do, and that's usually the safest thing to do for me. So a lot of times during the week, I'm just gonna put my mascara on and this will be it. I won't do any liner or anything like that. But if I am taking pictures, or it's at night and I wanna look a little dressier, I will do liner. And when I say liner, I don't really use liner. I used to always use liquid liner. I used it a long time. I never felt confident using it. But the shadow I use shadow as liner. I still use a black color. It's from this palette. You can see it in there. I've had it so long and I barely make a dent because I don't need any product. And then I use this brush. And this brush is a game changer if you feel like you can't get a straight line, because it's a flat definer brush. It's by Morphe. It's called the M432. It's straight across like this, so you can't mess this up. And what I do is just kind of tap it in the black color and then stamp it along right here on my lash line. Super easy. I can't promise you it's gonna be perfect right now because I don't have a mirror, I'm just using my viewfinder. So I'll just kind of like this. A lot of times this transfers down a little bit, but I don't even mind that because it just kind of dresses it up. And then do the other side. And then that would be it. And a lot of times I'll just use whatever's left over on here to kind of go up underneath and just do a little bit on the outside. And then if I'm feeling very fancy, I will use a pencil brush. This is the E30 by Sigma. It's just like a little point, and I will put that lightest shade or the medium shade on a brush and just kind of buff it out underneath, and that just kind of blends everything. Alrighty. And then the only thing I have left to do is mascara. So right now, I pretty much change up my mascaras a lot. The one I always use the last is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It works really good. Mine's kind of dried out right now. And then I like to use a more like comb style brush first. So I use two mascaras. Use the comb one first, and then the big fluffy brush, which is the Better Than Sex mascara, second. But mascara is so personal. It just depends on your lashes. You might try this and hate it, so sorry if you do. But this one is kind of new. It's the Bad Gal Bang by Benefit, and it has more of a comb style brush. It looks just like this. And then the Better Than Sex brush looks kind of like this. So you can see it's just bigger and fluffier. But all right, y'all. I'm not gonna do my mascara on here because it would not be cute. But that's all I do. All these brushes are really affordable. I know I use Morphe and Sigma a lot. You could completely get them all from one brand. They're both awesome companies. I like them both. Everything's super affordable. I will link this entire Makeup Geek palette if you wanted to just put this entire one together. I do love it, and like I said, I've had it for I think over 3 years. And then I know if you buy anything from this, the color you should get is Soft Brown by MAC, because that is a bestseller. If you go to MAC and say you haven't really bought any eyeshadow, you need to start somewhere, they're gonna sell you Soft Brown. So anyways, I hope this helps. I'm gonna pop on over to Insta Stories and kind of give Instagram a short little preview or clip of what's coming, and then hopefully it's Monday today. I'm hoping to get this edited and out by Friday, and then of course let me know what y'all want to see next. And thank you so much for taking time to see this video, and I hope everyone has a great week.